So the question is like, how do you ensure your channel sales program doesn't fail? If you can give just like a few steps, and you mentioned a few already, but
First of all, make sure that you are really committed and your executive team is really committed to supporting the channel program, because any sniff that you're not, your partners will flee for the hills. Secondly, make sure that you have a really good selection process and due diligence process to recruit the best partners for the job. Your job is to make them successful. First and foremost, your partner comes first, and next comes their customer. Because at the end of the day, if you're not making their customers successful, the partner's going to drop you like a hot brick. Then make sure you have a really good selection process, onboarding process, clearly defined agreements in terms of a prenup. Who keeps the kids in the event of a divorce? How do we escalate in the event that there's a problem? What resources will I give? What resources will you give? And make sure communication is always absolutely clear. It's really important that you create a sense of partner safety, so that the partner never feels like you're going to abuse the relationship with their customers. You're never going to keep them out of the loop or try and cut them out. So you have to be reliable. You have to be responsive, and you always have to work towards staying relevant, both to the partner and to the end customer. You've got
to the
to
partners
be,
and customer.
yeah, absolutely. You've got to be rigorously authentic. That means you have to admit when you mess up, when you don't know, or when they would be better served selling a competitor's product. Now, that takes real nerve. You need to be ready to enter into constructive conflict.
But this is how you build trust. Like in my last business, with Maxi and my previous business, we were a content delivery network making websites faster, and we were like weak in Australia. And when I told people like, hey, if Australia is like really important for you, then it's better not to go with us or use a multi-CDN approach. And they're always like jaw drop, like, wow, like you're really sending us to a competitor. And this kind of builds like a ton of trust. Yeah, sorry for interrupting.
No, not at all. You're absolutely right. And the other piece is clarity. Ambiguity is the mother of all fuck ups. It's the mother of all mismatched expectations, disappointment. So always communicate with absolute clarity. So agree clearly what you both want and what you're both committing to. Make sure both sides understand who is going to be accountable, who's going to be responsible for doing what by when, and do not let any ambiguity creep in, and then document that so that both sides have a record, and make sure there's always a clear time frame for any action, because goals without times are wishes, and the task will always expand to the time allotted to it. If you haven't allotted time, it just goes on for infinity. Work on building long-term partnerships. You're not trying to create a transaction, you're trying to create a partnership. And that means you help each other get better. Sometimes you end up in stand-up fights, but the objective is always to stay focused on helping both sides improve. Create strong and sustainable agreements that can weather the test of time, that will survive change, and particularly survive adversity, and be really collaborative. So you've got to listen deeply. You're always asking, what next, what next, what next? So you stay ahead, and you're helping the partner develop propositions for their customers that mean that they're constantly sustaining success over time, creating value, delivering outcomes. If you do those things well, then good systems,
your partner will be successful.
Yeah, and good systems, good structure, regular flow of communication, accountability, and just be honest. To always tell the truth. It confounds your enemies and surprises your friends.
Love it. Thank you, Marcus. By the way, if somebody sees this video out of cut out on YouTube as a separate one, Marcus is the author of Making Channel Sales Work, and I guess we're going to post a link below it to the book if you want to check this out.